video. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Recording on the webcam for the first time because I'm tired of running out of storage space on my phone. The storage space is really limited. Jackie Boy's got a sports show. When you were tuning into that sports show, my hair looks crazy. The mic is in my hand. The bed is unmade. We're wild that my room looks so empty. This isn't even my room. It's the guest room. That aside, how we doing? How was the weekend? How was your favorite team doing? The World Series just started? Huh? Your favorite team in? Do you even care about baseball? Well, like I said, Jackie Boy's got a sports show. You were tuning into the sports show. Welcome to the second week of the weekly prediction episode in this show. I'm just tripping over my words right now. We're going to go over my 5 favorite college matchups of the weekend as well as my 5 favorite NFL matchups of the weekend. But before that, follow me at Twitter, jjester615. It is not called X. It is still called Twitter. Email me about the show, comments, concerns, ideas, whatever you got. Old JackieBoy1021 at gmail.com. Would love to hear from you. Rate the show. It would really help me out if you rate the show. Give it 5 stars. Give an honest review. You can leave a completely honest review, but leave 5 stars in that honest review. And first, I want to talk about the World Series. Let's get right into the show. World Series. Now, for those of you who don't really know me, for those of you who don't know my TikTok or whatever, I don't have an MLB team that I particularly root for. Why? There's no MLB teams in Tennessee. We got the Nashville Sounds, which is the AA team for the Twins, I believe. Fun games, but we don't have any MLB teams. My hair looks actually insane. We're just going to have to deal with it. But every World Series, if you don't like baseball, tune into the World Series. I get not keeping up the 100 or so games. Completely get it. But watch the World Series. The World Series is really fun to keep up with. 2019, I followed the Washington Nationals because I really liked Juan Soto. I didn't watch the World Series in 2020. I don't even know if there was a World Series in 2020. And then in 2021, did I go on that long of a hiatus? I don't think I picked a team 2020 and 2021, but in 2022, I wanted the Phillies. I wanted the Phillies to win because I thought it'd be interesting for Bryce Harper to win the World Series. Obviously, that did not end up happening. So all that being said, who is it? I legitimately look crazy and it's aggravating me. Who is it that I want to win the World Series this season? Drum roll, please. That looks stupid. Texas Rangers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am rocking with the Texas Rangers in the MLB World Series. Why? Well, see, when I watched my very first MLB game, I had a choice of 2 teams to follow. One, the St. Louis Cardinals, because my stepdad was is from Illinois. Well, he's not my stepdad anymore. I guess that's why I said was. But he was from Illinois, and that's just they were in the World Series at the time, so there you go. Or the Texas Rangers, only because I was asking my dad who I should really be rooting for. And growing up, his favorite player was Nolan Ryan, and he was getting into baseball around the time Nolan Ryan was on the Texas Rangers, so his favorite team was the Texas Rangers. So obviously there's a pipeline to the Texas Rangers. So my team this season or this playoffs is the Texas Rangers. Let me know what team y'all are rooting for if you even care. At jjester615, email oldjackboy1021 at gmail.com, and TikTok JackieBoySports, or comment on the YouTube video if I can get it up. So, we're going to cover college football. We're going to cover NFL, just like we did last week, my 5 favorite matchups. In college football, we went 4-1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. And in the NFL, we went 2-3. Can do a little better. Now, the first game I have is the Red River Rivalry. I cannot say that fast or I will sound like a moron. we're gonna save that for last because that's probably the game to watch outside of Georgia, Kentucky. So let's get into the easier ones. So let's get into Alabama and Texas A&M. The only reason I really had this on here is Texas A&M has been a serious thorn in the side of Nick Saban for the past couple of years, and Texas A&M is no slouch. They beat the almighty South Carolina, as Georgia fans want you to think South Carolina is some almighty team. Texas A&M play SEC teams close. Texas A&M is not a bad team. They are a good team. It's an SEC matchup against a weakened Alabama team. I sigh heavily at SEC matchup because I'm not an SEC purist. I'm a Tennessee fan, and growing up, I thought college football was the SEC. That's how serious people take the SEC down here. Um, I think Bama wins 23-20, but like as my score prediction states, I think it was going to be very, very close. Moving on to our next game, Arizona and USC. Arizona coming off a 31-24 loss to Washington, and USC coming off 0 points in the fourth quarter against Colorado, almost letting them come all the way back. All the way back. The reason I have this on here is Arizona has piqued my interest. You know that Ricky Gervais office clip? You've charmed me. That was a sick British accent. Um, um, I just think Arizona could keep it close with Pac-12 teams. They're going to be like the Texas A&M of the SEC. I think USC wins this 42-37. Just because USC does not have a defense, but their offense is completely incredible. I think they win, but I think Arizona keeps it close, which is not good for USC because USC has continued to drop because close games with division opponents means dropping for USC, but it doesn't mean dropping for Georgia. Beats me, brother. I know y'all are sick of hearing about that. So let's go LSU, Missouri. I'm interested in LSU, Missouri because Missouri is a little sleeper team. Missouri's a little sneaky little devil. They're the ones who knocked off Kansas State after Kansas State was looking pretty good. And LSU struggles against ranked opponents. They lost against Florida State. They lost against Ole Miss in an embarrassing fashion last week. And yes, it was an embarrassing fashion. Did you watch the last drive? I believe they were inside the 20-yard line, moving the ball with ease, and then two bonehead penalties backed them up past almost to the 40-yard line. I think LSU wins 42-27. I know I said it's an interesting game, but it's almost a 20-point spread. But I think Missouri has a chance. And if Missouri wins, what a fall from grace from LSU. Ranked in the top 10, and if they lose to Missouri, they're not even going to be ranked. And 3 losses, all to ranked teams, that season's over completely for LSU. Maybe, and at that point, they'd just be playing to upset Georgia in the SEC championship, which, hey, I'm here for. Let's move to Kentucky going into Athens to face Georgia. Now, Kentucky is coming off manhandling Florida, absolutely manhandling Florida, and say what you want about Florida. They were never a good team. Tennessee just can't win in the swamp for whatever reason. And they did that throwing the ball, 9 times? 9 times? Last time I saw that, it was a Patriots-Bills matchup. 9 times? Georgia barely escaped Auburn. And the last time they saw an SEC opponent in Athens, it was a worse team than Kentucky in South Carolina, and they were trailing, and they were playing pretty bad. They can't afford to mess around with Kentucky. Kentucky is a good team. Kentucky is a good football team. Top 20 in defense. Outside of Eastern Kentucky, their average margin of victory is 24 points. I'm saying Georgia has struggled with lesser SEC opponents. You really don't think that offense is going to struggle against the top 20 defense? And I know it's in Athens. That doesn't really mean anything this year. And I know you're probably going to say, Jack, you're just a Georgia hater. And you're absolutely right. The NCAA has made me despise Georgia, even more than I already do, being a Tennessee fan. That Hail Mary in the Josh Dobbs era, sweetest moment of my life. I'm picking to Kentucky with the upset 24-20. It is finally time for Georgia to fall officially. And even if Kentucky keeps it close, I know Georgia's not going to move. But if Georgia wins, it's by 2 points. It's by 2 points. The max amount of points I'll take Georgia is 3. I'm telling you, some people may call me crazy, may just call me a Georgia hater. But I think even the most delusional Georgia fans know that Kentucky is dangerous. Don't sleep on Kentucky. And this is a Tennessee fan saying that. I had to accept Will Levis on my football team. You understand that? So let's get into it. The main event of the evening, Texas, Oklahoma, Red River, one of the most famed rivalries in college football, the most iconic, at least in the Big 12. Now it's moving to the SEC to compete with the Iron Bowl. But hey, right now it's Big 12. And checking, the last time I checked, Oklahoma is favored. Let me tell you, that's shocking. Now, Texas coming off a 40-14 win over Kansas, even though Kansas quarterback was injured. And Oklahoma is coming off a 50-20 Iowa State win. And the story, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, Quinn Ewers and Dillon Gabriel. Quinn Ewers, the much more known quarterback. Quinn Ewers, certified baller. But Dillon Gabriel is pretty good. Dillon Gabriel is a pretty good quarterback. And he's got the seniority, quite literally, over Quinn Ewers. With Dillon Gabriel being senior, Quinn Ewers being a sophomore. Now let's get into the real matchups. Texas is 17th in total defense. Oklahoma is 30th. Oklahoma is 9th in total offense. Top 10 offense Oklahoma has. You may be shocked to hear that because Oklahoma, there's no Lincoln Riley, right? Oklahoma is supposed to be falling off. Lincoln Riley left. Oklahoma is supposed to fade away, but they're not going away. Texas is 43rd in total offense. Disgusting. Awful. Oklahoma is also top 3 in both offensive and defensive scoring. That's incredible. Here's the thing. Oklahoma has had the worst Big 12 schedule in terms of strength. And the best defense Oklahoma has faced is 28th in SMU and 38th in Cincinnati. Both times, they could barely put 20 points on the board. So that top 10 in total offense, slightly inflated. Slightly inflated. Now, 30th in defense is nothing to scoff at, but Quinn Ewers has shown he can dice defenses up. That Alabama defense is no joke, Sonny. It's no joke. And Quinn Ewers, hot knife through butter. Hot knife through butter. And Oklahoma's offense struggles against good defenses. That's just the facts. I got Texas winning 27-17. Oklahoma is not going to put up more than 20, and they're not going to keep Texas from scoring more than 25. Texas might even get into the 30s. And I cannot wait for Texas to beat Oklahoma for one reason and one reason only. R.J. Young. If you don't know who that is, glad. R.J. Young has some good analysis sometimes, right? And I'm saying this because my opinion has soured so much over the past couple months because every week Almost every day he tweets something out like Oklahoma is this, Oklahoma is that. Don't mind Oklahoma. Oklahoma is this, Oklahoma is that. Don't mind Oklahoma. And it's so annoying. It is so annoying. And I cannot wait to see his mentions after Texas beats Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Now let's get to the NFL. So, to recap, actually, let's recap my college football picks. I have Texas going over Oklahoma 27-17. I have Alabama going over Texas A&M 23-20. I have USC going over Arizona 42-37. I have Kentucky going over Georgia 24-20, and I have LSU going over Missouri 42-27. Let's go NFL. And first, we're going to start off with the Titans going into Lucas Oil Stadium. AFC crown possibly on the line. Every single team in the AFC South is 2-2. It's ridiculous how even this division is. You got the Texans, CJ Stroud looking good, Nico Collins looking good. They got a good offense down there and an okay defense. The Jaguars doing Jaguars things. Anthony Richardson looking 10 times the quarterback we thought he was going to look like this week. And the Titans being the Titans. And let's touch on Anthony Richardson real quick. Everybody said he was going to play poor. I said this in my recap this past weekend. Everybody said Anthony Richardson was not going to be a very good quarterback this year. He has been a phenomenal quarterback this year. Has he missed some throws? Absolutely. Has he made some bad decisions? Absolutely. Should he learn how to protect himself more running the ball? Absolutely. I'm not saying he's perfect. But everybody thought he'd have a Josh Allen type season. Just, oh my God, how was this guy drafted? But he looks phenomenal. Now, the Titans might have rediscovered their identity on offense. What's that identity? Run through Derek. Run through Derek, and they've added the ability to stretch the field. One stat I learned just today, Ryan Tannehill is second in the NFL on, I believe it's called like depth, like longest average throws. I don't. It's Jordan Love at 10.5. It's Ryan Tannehill at 10.4. Ryan Tannehill is throwing the ball down the field. Now, the Colts have a good defense, not a great defense. They have a good defense, though. And the Titans on defense, since we're talking about defense, I really hope I can string together my sentences. I really hope I can learn that skill soon. Well, the Titans have a bad habit. The Titans' front seven is great. Their DBs are what is really, really, really suspect. They have a bad habit of allowing explosive plays. They fixed it against the Bengals, but let's remember that's on a hobbled Joe Burrow. That is a hobbled Joe Burrow. But then again, the Colts don't really have anybody they can go to for real explosive plays. Josh Downs showed some capability last week. We don't even know if Jonathan Taylor will be able to play. There's reports that he is practicing. There's reports that he might not practice. There's reports surrounding Jonathan Taylor and his whereabouts and if he's practicing and playing or not. But if they don't have Jonathan Taylor and Josh Downs is a complete unknown, they don't really have big play guys. Anthony Richardson can throw the ball 100 yards, right? They have guys that'll catch it 100 yards on the field. I guess that's definition of explosive plays. But that's what worries me about the Titans defense. They allow a lot of explosive plays. All that being said, I think the Colts win 24-13. I think the Titans are coming off a very emotional win against the Bengals, a team that they've struggled with the past 2-3 years. And they're going into Indianapolis. And the Colts are looking good. I think the Colts win 24-13. Now the Texans going into Atlanta to face the Falcons. Desmond Ritter versus CJ Stroud. One you would obviously have over the other. One has not thrown a pick this year, is looking tremendous, phenomenal in his rookie season. I think the Falcons win 25-20, and here is the reason. Atlanta's defense is very, very good. Seventh in total defense and fifth in pass defense. CJ Stroud is not going to have an easy day, not going to have a fun day. And also, the Texans' rush defense is 19th in the league. 19th against a team that really likes to run the football. Real explosive guy, you may have heard of Bijan Robinson. And don't sleep on Tyler Algier. I think the Falcons win 25-20. Now, next, I have the New York Jets going into Denver to face the Broncos. And I marked this one down because Nathaniel Hackett got drugged through the mud by Sean Payton when Sean Payton was hired as the Broncos head coach. And I think Nathaniel Hackett is in everybody's ear on that offense. I'm going to fix my hair. Everybody's ear. Let him know how passionate he is about kicking the living snot out of Sean Payton. And here's the thing. Jets defense is tremendous. I'm pulling my hood down. Jets defense is absolutely tremendous. You saw how much trouble they were giving Patrick Mahomes. How much trouble do you think they're giving a washed Russell Wilson? We can officially call him washed. He's not playing horrible this season, but he's washed. He's definitely not the Russell Wilson we knew even 3 years ago. And the Broncos defense is horrible. The Broncos defense is horrible. They can't get any pressure, and because they can't get any pressure, guys can just sit back there and just find their guys. Now they are playing Zach Wilson, but Zach Wilson looked good. Can you believe I'm saying that? Shout out my boy Braden, Noble Sports. BYU guy, right? Zach Wilson looked good against the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Kansas City Chiefs defense is a good defense. And the Broncos are an awful defense. I'm taking the Jets 20-13 over the Denver Broncos. Next, we have the Bengals going into Arizona. I think this is interesting because the Bengals continue to struggle, and the Cardinals are a very, very scrappy team. They don't go away. They keep throwing punches. They got Josh Dobbs. They got Hollywood. They still got Zach Ertz. Defense, they got Budda Baker and pretty much nobody else. The Cardinals have been a lot better than we expected. I think we were all thinking, well, they were trying to tank on purpose, and then Josh Dobbs and the rest of the team is like, no, we're going to win some football games. The owner is probably freaking out, but trying to save face. I think the Bengals bounce back 27-24. Bengals are good enough to get a win. I think it's ugly. I think it's scrappy. The Cardinals won't go away, but game ender by Shooter McPherson ends it 27-24. Ignore that. And finally, guys, the NFL picked a good primetime game. Can you believe it? Or a good primetime matchup, at least. The Cowboys are going into, I almost said Candlestick, into San Francisco. It used to be Candlestick. The better version of it was Candlestick. Into San Francisco to face the 49ers. Possible NFC Championship preview. Very, very possible. Two of the top three defenses. You already know what it is. This is the 49ers' first real test as a defense, though. They face the Steelers, right? They face the Cardinals, right? And I forgot the other two teams they faced. But the Cowboys' offense is a legit offense. And unfortunately for the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs is hurt. Trayvon Diggs is out for the season. I know that happened a while ago, but it's worth mentioning their best corner. will not be on the field. They still have Stephon Gilmore. They still have playmakers back there, but their best corner won't be there. You got Dak Prescott versus Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is playing phenomenal. Dak is playing pretty good. But here's the thing. It's in San Francisco, and I have a bad feeling for the Dallas Cowboys. I have a bad feeling for the Dallas Cowboys. If you're being honest with yourself, who do you trust more? Do you trust the Dallas Cowboys or do you trust the San Francisco 49ers more? Are we all just going to forget what happened in Arizona to the Cowboys? We just going to forget that? I'm not. I have the 49ers winning 35-30. And on paper, this should be a really, really good matchup, but keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it because I think the Cowboys could very easily suck. The Cowboys could very easily not even put up 10 points. And I'm not kidding. And if they do that, the 49ers defense is going to strike fear in each and every one of their opponents. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. I hope you enjoyed the second week of the Jackie Boy Sports Predicts. Jackie Boy Predicts. Follow me on Twitter at JJester615. Rate the show if you like the show. Give an honest review, like I said. I look more tired than I did at the start of the episode. I'll probably sound a little different. I'm really tired. I haven't slept and I'm dealing with head issues. But yeah, rate the show, leave an honest review, but still make it 5 stars. You can tell me how you feel about the show, but put 5 stars. 5 stars. Tell your friends about the show. Spread the show around. I'm really trying to take this seriously. Email me questions, concerns, ideas, whatever you want to do. oldJackieBoy1021@gmail.com. Follow me on TikTok for daily sports takes. Jackie Boy Sports. And I will see y'all next Tuesday. Peace, love, and pixie dust. Take care.